Fathers often believe their actions will speak for themselves. They assume that being present, working hard, and showing love will naturally be seen and remembered for what they are. But in a child's mind, those actions rarely arrive unfiltered. They come wrapped in someone else's commentary. In most families, that someone else is the mother. Her words, tone, and daily interpretations often shape the meaning of the father's actions far more than the actions themselves. Psychologists call this social referencing, the process by which children, especially in the early years, look to a trusted caregiver to decide how to feel about people and events. Research by Campos and Stenberg showed that even toddlers in uncertain situations take emotional cues from expressions and tone of the adult they trust most. That adult is often the mother, and her commentary, verbal or non-verbal, becomes the lens through which the child sees their father. We expect that children should grow up with raw footage of their parents. They should, but often they grow up with an edited version, a cut, overlaid, and narrated version that becomes their truth. In most homes, the mother is the one holding the editing software. She decides what gets replayed, what gets cut, and how the story is told. This is not always malicious. Sometimes it's just the reality of who talks more, who is present in those in-between moments, and who frames events as they unfold. But the narration has profound implications. What she says about you, the tone she uses, the context she gives matter more, sometimes far more, than what you actually do. Actions may speak louder than words in theory, but in the daily theater of family life, the mother's words write the script, not the father's actions. If you don't understand this dynamic, you will spend years frustrated, confused, and feeling unfairly judged by your own children. You will believe your actions speak for themselves, only to discover your children have grown up with a completely different version of events, one that doesn't match what you lived, but matches what they were told. You can be a father who sacrifices, shows up, and does the work, and still end up with children who feel you are absent, uncaring, or worse. It's not about whether you did enough. It's about what got recorded in the version they were given. Sometimes mothers are not aware of the weight of their words carry. A sarcastic aside, a subtle sigh, or a dismissive glance may feel harmless in the moment. Yet over time, these cues accumulate, layering meaning onto memories until the truth of who the father is feels self-evident to the child, whether or not it matches even their reality. Other times, mothers are fully aware and use this power intentionally to shape the child's loyalties or affections. So, the takeaway for fathers in this lesson: you cannot control, and indeed you should not control, the editing software. Create your own footage and give it your own narration directly with your children. You cannot take action but leave the explaining in someone else's hands. Be intentional about the conversations you have with your children. Name the moments. Put words to your actions. If you are doing something for their benefit, tell them yourself. If you miss something important, explain why yourself. Don't leave a silence. It will be filled by someone else's story. But also, do not get into a battle over the editing. The goal is not to fight for control of the software in the mother's hands. That will only add bitterness to the story. The goal is to ensure your voice is in the final cut. Your relationship with your children is a channel. Keep it open. Keep it direct. Do the voiceover yourself. If you rely solely on your actions to speak, you will find they are drowned out by someone else's narration. Children grow up not with the truth as you lived it, but with the truth as it was narrated. If you are not speaking into their lives with clarity, someone else will. And they might not be telling your story the way you think. Thank you for your time, and see you in the next lesson.